are these people?
Go to my website.
And at that website, there's also merch. So there's a button to pick up an INN t-shirt.
Buy my merch right quick.
Oh, check out that merch. Check it out. Oh, Reef's wearing a beanie. Look at that. Oh, he's heating up his dab rig right now. So yes, you can get an INN beanie over at the merch store too. You go to indienewsnow.com, click on the merch store, and you can pick up one for yourself. One that I found that was in support of the article that I wrote 10 days ago, which was about removing Israel as a recognized nation in the community of nations. And that a new UN investigation concludes finally and officially that Israel is committing genocide in Gaza, which we had already talked about. But he points to a new in-depth report
Diplomatic community
from the UN, the Human Rights Council, which found that Israel is responsible for the commission of genocide in Gaza, unquote. The report documented that Israel's committed 4 out of the 5 genocidal acts defined by the 1948 Convention on the Prevention and Punishment of the Crime of Genocide. So, first, the report found that Israel has committed the first genocidal act defined by the 1948 Genocide Convention, killing members of the group that they're targeting. Okay? Then we've got, and there's a ton of documentation of this. And where's the next one? All right. Causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group. The report notes that Israel is guilty of violating the causing serious bodily or mental harm to members of the group clause. It notes that Israel has inflicted environmental destruction in Gaza since October 7th, documenting over 60,000 destroyed structures, 20,000 severely damaged structures, 56,000 plus moderately damaged structures, and over 34,000 possibly damaged structures, for a total of over 170,000 structures, on top of all of the roads and the working hospitals and every university and school, and that they continue to blow them up when they rebuild them or try to rebuild them or create a makeshift version of it. It also noted that toxic remnants of daily explosions released into the environment, including hazardous heat and chemical reactions, pose long-term threats for generations. They're destroying the future, which is their intent. All right. Then the third thing is that they are deliberately inflicting on the group conditions of life calculated to bring about its physical destruction in whole or in part. Again, specific language. All right. That the report documents that Israel has violated the deliberately inflicting the group conditions clause section of the convention. All right. That the report documents the mass destruction of Gaza's civilian infrastructure. All right. The commission reviewed photos and videos showing the widespread destruction of residential complexes and entire neighborhoods in the Gaza Strip, including agricultural lands, public facilities, religious and cultural sites, schools, universities, and hospitals. Many of these locations were damaged or destroyed by airstrikes, as well as tank and artillery shells, let alone the double taps. Some were destroyed by bulldozers or controlled demolitions, rendering those areas uninhabitable by intent. A resident of Gaza City told the commission that the Israeli security forces looted everything from his house, destroyed his cars, then burned the house. Notably, Israeli soldiers have admitted to burning homes in social media posts. They're not ashamed of it. They're quite proud of it. And then we've got published reports of that. Okay. This is a really interesting, in-depth article just laying out all the receipts. Here, also as a result, the report noted that, quote, Palestinians in Gaza were forcibly transferred and forced to live in inhumane conditions, deprived of food, water, proper housing, and essential medical care. Notably, the Israeli security forces had also intentionally destroyed civilian objects that left Palestinians in Gaza without resources indispensable for their survival and heavily reliant on humanitarian aid that was wholly or substantially blocked by Israeli authorities, even though they deny it and gaslight anyone that states this. Then there's another condition where they're imposing measures intended to prevent births within the group, certainly by attacking the healthcare system, by not allowing aid in, by not allowing water so that mothers could nourish their babies, by not allowing diapers in, by not allowing sanitary products for women. Yeah, then they also destroyed all the IVF, all the embryos and sperm samples and unfertilized eggs at these IVF facilities.
Right, the incubation chambers.
Right. All right. Again, this all, and then proving genocidal intent. To conclude, the report establishes genocidal intent from Israeli officials, citing the fact that as early as October 7th, Israeli officials made statements that indicated their intention to destroy Palestinians in Gaza as a group, not Hamas, Palestinians in Gaza, noting that Israeli authorities made many statements that explicitly called for vengeance, destruction, and annihilation. Of course, collective punishment. And somewhere, I'm sure, in this article mentions collective punishment being a war crime. Okay, and going back to Guy Christensen over here, actually, his link tree, if I remember correctly, his link tree has a link so that you can view. Here it is. 500 quotes by Israeli politicians with genocidal intent. So he's got that there for people to look at as well. All right. Again, genocide. Unquestionably. Fuck Israel. And fuck Israel and anyone supporting them for denying this and trying to gaslight people into denying what we see clearly with our eyes. All right. On top of the fact that they can't even count how many people they've murdered because they're buried under rubble and they had buildings collapse on them. And the Gaza Health Ministry has been destroyed. So the list of families and people hasn't been updated. They can't possibly know. There's people that are missing all over the place. That was the idea, to scatter everybody and eliminate all the records, which is also part of genocidal intent. Destruction of cultural, religious, and educational structures and facilities, siege, starvation, and the blocking of humanitarian aid, targeting of the healthcare system, sexual and gender-based violence. Let's not forget about the raping of Palestinian women and men in Israeli prisons that's been happening, and direct targeting of children. All right? And that's just some of their war crimes that they've gleefully admitted to and put out on tape, including on TikTok, which is one of the reasons why the U.S. government wants to control it on behalf of the Israeli government. Orders have been given. Okay. All right. So, yes, that Bibi Netanyahu decided to say that this is preposterous propaganda by the left. No, it's not. It's documented reality. It's what we've been talking about and showing on this show for 2 years. You know, and this week, we're coming up 2 weeks from now on 2 years since the October 7th prison break. And again, go back to my article about why Israel should not be allowed to exist as a country at this point, that talked about why I believe October 7th was a prison break, because these people have been held prisoner. And that wall was abandoned, allegedly, for a period of hours. It was the most monitored wall in human history, but they just happened to take all of the watch off of it for hours while this was happening? Huh. How about that? How about that? Right? They bulldozed Rachel Corrie. That's right, all one same. May she rest in power. All right? They don't give a fuck. They killed Antinur Egi, which again, Reef and Colin covered on INN News. That's a Turkish American.
Yeah.
They murdered a Palestinian American boy, a teenager from Patterson, New Jersey. And media didn't say shit. Cory Booker didn't say shit. Right? And all of these people need to be brought up on charges, need to be brought up on trial for their support of genocide. And the UN needs to take whatever steps to decertify Israel as a country. That's really what I believe needs to happen here. Now, because of that, we're certainly not going to be remonetized. I was going to ask people that if you're able to and have means, please support the stream. Okay. The ways to do that are a Cash App, $ Indie News Network, at co-fi.com/Indie News Network. You got paypal.me/Indie News Network. Got IndieNewsNow.com. We're actually live over there now. We still host over there. We self-host. And then we've got the Substacks, INNewsletter.com, where we're going to be live later on tonight for boats smashing into other boats. And we're live right now at IndieMediaToday.com, where actually you see the newest name on the board, Darren Sweeney, became a paid annual subscriber over at IndieMediaToday.com today. So thank you, Darren. I was able to get that up on the slide before we went live. And we really appreciate all the support to help us fund the media you want to see, pay our bills. We just got hit with a Canva bill last week. That was close to $300. We've got the Restream bill for almost $700 coming up later on this year. Zoom bill. And then there's the monthly subscriptions that we have. And again, this is what we need to do to be able to create content and make good shows. And, you know, Reef and Colin had a theme song made earlier, an all new look and creative. And that cost us a little bit. And we're helping Angel fund a laptop. And we also, hopefully, once we get that all paid, I'd like to do some mutual aid in the fourth quarter of this year. Mm-hmm. That would be really nice to be able to do. Love you all. Thank you for hanging out. Support independent media because we need it more than ever. We'll see you soon, fam. No! We just fucking lost the stream!
I guess this isn't such an awful place. Is that what you want?